You are on India Today podcasts and you are in the Sledging room. The IPL is underway and we have a couple of new haircuts, including mine. I don't know if you can make much of it. It's like what I like to call a summer cut.
Yeah.
Just completely shave it off. Not that there's much. You've look like you've got a new cut too.
Because summer is here.
In celebration of CSK's win finally.
Yeah,
I mean, unlike last year, you didn't have to wait too long.
I will not.
Four defeats?
Four defeats, I think.
And now you have CSK up and running already in the second game. Promising.
I think you are also happy, very happy that your team in red is doing well.
Punjab.
Saurabh is happy for a lot of other reasons, but his Delhi Capitals is giving him a little bit of headache.
Oh, that headache will stay even in Delhi. Rishabh Pant is
obviously
going to be missed. I mean, he's a
we are
character.
going to miss Rishabh Pant.
He's a character.
Exactly.
I love that guy.
Miss the captain, the wicketkeeper, the batter.
Yeah. But there's so much that has happened already in the first round of the IPL matches. Dhoni's magic, Rohit looking as flustered. It's unimaginable. You know, we discussed this last year as well. And Virat Kohli.
Oh my God.
Was there any humble pie? Can I eat some?
Yeah, you should.
But he's already said that I don't care about.
You were hoping that your theory of him not doing well in T20s will be validated during IPL. But that.
No, I was waiting to tell you, use these lines, ready to eat humble pie. I mean, that was against a good bowling attack. That was, okay, it's not easy to defend in Bangalore. But at least on paper, that was a good bowling lineup. Jofra Archer,
but
Jason
I wouldn't
Bendoff.
agree with that. I wouldn't agree that Mumbai have the worst bowling lineup in the...
I don't think so. I think CSK. I think CSK have the worst bowling lineup.
SRH.
Since
everyone is competing
since
for
you
that.
brought that up, exactly, right?
Yeah.
I mean, last night, all right, they pulled it off, Saurabh.
They just managed to pull it off, actually.
But, I mean, MS Dhoni went on and said that later. He said, look, the bowlers had better pull their socks up, stop bowling so many extras, or they need to play under a new captain. Maybe part of that was a joke, but again with MS Dhoni, you don't know.
The problem is for some team like Delhi Capital, which Saurabh passionately supports. Andrik Noya is coming back.
What's the problem?
Mustafizur Rahman is coming back.
So that's the way you planned your team.
That's where I'm coming. For CSK, Mahesh Theekshana is coming.
Oh, come on.
Dwayne Pretorius is coming. Matisha Patirana is coming.
All of these are foreign. All of these are overseas players. How many overseas cricketers are you going to play?
I agree, but Mumbai Indians, what do they have?
No. First, no. Okay.
And you rely
Calm
on
down.
34-year-old spinner Piyush Chawla.
And he says he's an IPL neutral.
I am just pinpointing.
Wait, you are not an IPL neutral then. Admit it.
Yes, Akshay, the CSK fan.
Where's your yellow jersey? I know there's a yellow jersey somewhere around the corner.
I am just saying.
Look at me, blue, India.
Piyush Chawla.
Indian cricket.
At this stage, can't be your first choice spinner of an IPL team.
Oh, come on. No. Where is Piyush Chawla?
Mumbai Indians have Piyush Chawla as their first choice spinner.
We're talking about CSK. You're drifting towards Dwayne Pretorius, Theekshana. These are overseas cricketers. I'm talking about the Indian talent that you are nurturing. Look at the way CSK couldn't defend 170 odd in the first match. Splendid innings by Ruturaj Gaikwad in vain. On Monday, again, a splendid effort by Ruturaj Gaikwad, terrific batting by Devon Conway, some good hitting lower down the order. Shivam Dubey gets a cameo, Moeen Ali gets another cameo, and then it's Moeen Ali who pulls you back with those wickets. Indiscipline from Tushar Deshpande, from Ravindra Jadeja, he came on to bowl in the 14th over, understandably probably because Dhoni avoids bowling left-arm spinners to left-handed batters. But it was just... You could see that Dhoni was getting flustered, and we'll use the word fluster for another captain, the most successful IPL captain. We'll come to that. But MS Dhoni was pissed off, man. He was like, I am out of here. See, and he said as much. I mean, knowing MS Dhoni, I'm not saying I know him personally, but having followed him as a journalist, he may not have meant that as a joke.
But he's meaning the suspension, right? If you play another, if you get poor over rate for another match. Like the match started at 7:30 and it ended at 2 days after.
With a lot of
2 days after the game started. That's how it felt, right? It was going on and on and on.
It was just not ending.
Yeah, and the camera zooming into Dhoni's face. He was seething. Right?
After every no ball, after every wide ball, you could see MS Dhoni.
But I'll come to Saurabh quickly. But tell me this: you were home watching this game.
Hmm.
Did you wish you were in Chennai? Because I wished I was in
I
Chennai.
loved that
I've never
atmosphere.
been to that part of the country, to Chennai.
Yeah.
I want to be there. But I mean, yesterday was of all the days that I wish I could be there. I mean, you could see the
Experience
ground
that, yes.
buzzing from right here in Noida.
Mm.
Did you wish that you were there?
Absolutely, Raj.
You go to watch all these
wanted to-
Rajnikant films.
yeah.
First day, first show.
I
He
wanted
is
to
one
be
of
there,
the-
but there is another
Great-
point
yeah.
also, Raj, that a lot of fans are very unhappy with the CSK management this year because the sales of tickets, there are some issues with that. Only a few percentage of tickets are sold online and sold in the counters. But you have to satisfy the sponsors. There are so many sponsors. A lot of tickets are being given to sponsors. There were a lot of empty seats, especially on the top balconies and all that. It looked a little awry, and the fans have been complaining on social
No, but
media.
then it's also the fact that this was the first time in several years that he
Yeah.
actually
Yes,
had packed
yes.
stands in
But you can't
the
have
Chipok.
empty stands when in such
Yeah, I mean, but it's happened there, right? I mean, because I think there was some renovation.
Yeah, if you
under-
give away those tickets
Yeah.
to sponsors and corporates, what if they don't turn
Hey,
up? As in,
that's
I'm not
okay.
blaming them.
That's okay. I
But-
mean, as long as fans
Yeah.
went out
Fans
and had a
are
field day.
making-
Those two sixes from
Yeah.
MS Dhoni, 5,000 runs,
Yes.
the first wicketkeeper in the history of the Indian Premier League.
IPL.
Those were stunning shots. I mean,
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I mean, Mark was coming into this game after a fantastic 5-wicket haul.
Hmm.
Amazoni walks in, the crowd was roaring,
hmm.
and he gets on 2 back-to-back sixes.
Mm.
I mean, that was fantabulous.
Yeah.
Although I'm not a CSK fan,
Mm.
but I loved the crowd cheering for Amazoni. That noise, it made you feel, yes, cricket is a religion in India.
Yeah.
And MS Dhoni is one of those gods.
Yeah.
He still
Is
got it,
Dhoni
isn't
a
it?
different character when he's playing in Chennai? Is he a different person? Does it look like there's more fire?
Yeah, and you know,
Yeah, I think the whole CSK team, if you look at that,
Mm.
their success in IPL is basically based on
The home performance.
home performances.
Yeah.
They've had a very good record, and especially Dhoni.
Hmm.
He loves to bat at Chipok.
Mm.
Those finishing overs and the way he bats, the way he hits those premium pacers, good spinners for sixes. It's
No, it's not
absolutely
always been about premium pacers only in the last few years. I mean, Mark Wood
Obviously.
yesterday, yes,
Hmm.
but again, it was a flat pitch.
Raj, when he-
But
when he-
nothing to take away from Dhoni.
Hmm.
But do you find he's found his mojo back, his magic back as captain, especially from the way he marshaled his resources? Very limited bowling resources at this point, if I may say.
I am not sure whether he has found his mojo back and all. This CSK team still looks vulnerable.
Are these young bowlers? Do you think he should be really
Raj,
scared of MS Dhoni?
it's not about the young bowlers. See, someone like Rajvardhan Hangargegar, someone like
Yes.
Tushar Deshpande.
I mean, they have
should not be
enough
the one who should
experience.
be
They have
questioned.
no.
What
They
is
have.
Deepak Chahar doing?
That's what I'm
Yes.
coming to.
Yeah.
This bowling lineup, they have collective experience. They have enough experience. Of course, you're naming a couple of very,
Yeah.
naming a couple of young rookies, right?
Yeah.
Who are playing possibly in the second season of such.
Hangargegar is his
elite-
debut season.
Hangargekar's debut season. Tushar Deshpande played in the previous season.
Yeah.
But then you have someone like Ben Stokes.
If he's
Deepak
not
Chahar.
fit enough, why will you bowl him?
I forget bowling him, and I was particularly disappointed with Deepak Chahar's first over, just not bowling to your field. And if you have MS Dhoni, I'd be nervous. I'd be so nervous. I'd want to bowl consistently to the field that he's set up.
Yes.
Looking at MS Dhoni's face, I'd be, I'd be a lot of things.
I'm not saying this to ridicule Dwayne Bravo, but he's the bowling coach of the side. And what he did in the previous seasons at
No.
the death.
But
wides,
he's one
those
of your
low.
greatest. He's your
Bilkul,
greatest wicket
yeah.
taker. Yes, his
Sometimes-
economy rate was questionable. Sometimes even Dhoni would
But when
be
Dhoni
annoyed with
said
it.
that
Yeah.
at the press conference, he said no balls and less wides. He's okay with a couple of them going beyond the tram line when you're bowling to the field. But those no
And
balls.
even those fielding efforts, Akshay,
Yeah.
from
Shivam Dube.
Shivam Dube, some couple of overthrows, that dropped catch. I mean,
Yeah.
Ben Stokes' reaction was like, I want to do something
Yeah.
violent right now.
Even if Ben
Right.
Stokes scores nothing, does nothing with the
Exactly.
ball. he
You
will be
can't.
there for
And,
the
and
field,
see,
fielding.
we've all seen MS Dhoni as captain. He
Yeah.
does not like those lapses,
He
Saurabh.
does not.
Whether it was for India or CSK, you can get hit for a boundary.
Mm.
He has also said that, I don't mind a bowler getting hit for a couple of sixes in an over. But don't let the batters rotate strike too often. Don't drop catches. Please, no overthrows. He wants the basics to be done correctly. And that's why, I mean, you're ruining his
And
processes.
if you see him, he
Yeah.
hates when his bowlers are doing wayward bowling.
Yeah.
Those wides, those no balls, he absolutely hates him. And yesterday when he came for that
Post-match.
post-match presentation ceremony, the way he was speaking, it might look like a joke, but you'd never know with MS
No,
Dhoni.
you never know with MS Dhoni.
never know
One day
with
he might
MS
just say, you know what, I'm done.
I'm done.
What is this?
this group.
I mean, he was annoyed as it is with Shardul Thakur
Yeah.
in a year when CSK actually won the IPL.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
and this
And
is
Shardul Thakur
after
did not play after that for CSK.
after that. I mean, no, I mean, maybe it's nothing to do
Yeah.
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 with
Budgetary concerns.
with that particular moment. But I'm just saying that it's a little. I mean, you can't be MS Dhoni. There's only
Yeah.
one MS Dhoni, and there's not many captains who've led in those many matches.
Yeah.
But watching from the outside, looking at him seething in anger as a bowler, as a spectator, you'd be feeling for the bowler. Please don't be wayward.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask both of you one question.
Mm.
Ravindra Jadeja, he has been India's star performer. He's one of the best cricketers right now. Brilliant bowler, spinner, everything. Batter, fielder. What has happened to him at CSK? Coming so down in the batting, got just 1 over.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Was he affected by what happened last season?
In Premier League and all of them, everywhere, right? These journalists who follow a particular club, they tend to stoke these rumors and speculation about
no,
other clubs.
I'm not saying
But why,
anything.
It has been only 2 matches.
There are legit questions, and it's not about just 2 matches here.
Yeah.
Even the last season, right? And it's not. I mean, look, Jadeja
someone a
is,
Delhi fan, an RCB fan, you guys
No,
want
I'm not an RCB fan.
There is no
a
issue.
CSK
here.
fan.
This is a non-issue.
A CSK fan is crying.
Nah, this is a non-issue.
Deep down yesterday, you were crying when Kyle Mayers was
But
going
you
hammer and tongs
you are
on
the,
your bowlers.
at least he openly admits he's a DC fan.
Yeah.
You
I am
are
a
the one who's
neutral.
always
IPL
said that you're neutral. But look at the way you're going on and on about defending
IPL
a
neutral.
flimsy bowling lineup.
No, I'm not saying that it's
If
a
you-
great
if-
bowling lineup.
If you were an
but
IPL
it's not the
neutral,
worst in IPL, and I still say
Has your
Mumbai
Thala,
Indians.
has your Thala found his magic back?
See, one thing, I don't know whether he has found his magic back or not, but he loves being in Chennai. When he spoke at the toss yesterday, he said it's even in those 13 years that they've played in
Only few editions were
only few editions they were able to play
all
consistently
those 7 matches.
in home, and he felt good about it, and he felt good about the crowd being back and all that.
No, I mean, 2
But
years when they were suspended.
Yeah.
Then the last 3 years, obviously 2021 and 2022, they couldn't play in Chennai. So the last 5 years, you take 5 years away from the equation.
Yeah.
And then it was in 19, I think, 18 they had to move away.
yes.
So you have 6 out of those. So, I mean, they've played about 10 editions of the Indian Premier League in Chennai.
Yeah.
But I think there is something about MS Dhoni and Chennai and that connection. And you can see that. The love is genuine. Chennai loves him. Dhoni loves Chennai.
But he's not very happy with this pitch, I think. Huh? He wants
I was a little
he
surprised
was
actually.
surprised. He was
I was
surprised.
actually a little surprised myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember doing a show before that game, and I thought that they would want a slower track.
Yeah.
That is not the kind of track. I mean, not that you haven't had those tracks in Chennai. You've had extremely high scoring matches.
Yes. Murali
But-
Vijay is 100.
100 exactly on the same day, by the way, on the 3rd of April, when
13 years ago,
Ruturaj
2010.
Gaikwad scored
Yeah.
those runs as well 13 years later. But the fact is that, you tend to figure out that Dhoni likes to control that game with his slower bowlers, with, quick overs. And that was, I'm not sure.
But also, Raj, it's the start of the season. If you start with a very slow wicket, then as the pitch wears on,
No, but then
Couple of
obviously
slips are there,
every
yeah.
ground has 2 surfaces.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you saw that in the test series against England. You had a flat
Yeah.
pitch where India lost, and you had a turner where India won. So I don't know which is going to turn up for the next game in Chennai. But at least first points, they're off the blocks. But
but it's still not a very convincing side for me.
neither is it for me. I mean, you'd want to see a convincing Chennai side.
If you ask me, in my memory, this is one of the worst bowling lineup for Chennai.
But you know what, Saurabh?
Yeah.
Even when you tend to write off a CSK lineup,
Yes.
they always find a way to bounce
See,
back.
the way
MS Dhoni's aura.
Mukesh Chaudhary, Mohit Sharma, for instance, when he was an unknown commodity, at least at the highest level,
Mm-hmm.
MS Dhoni tried to get something out of them, and he managed to get something out of them.
Exactly.
And the way Tushar Deshpande had that setback in the first over and kind of made a comeback shows that, and one more thing is that a lot of experts were saying that, you should have a different setup. Tushar Deshpande can't be your impact player. But no change. Again, Tushar Deshpande
No,
is
but
your impact player.
Dhoni tends to do that.
Yeah.
He's very particular about the fact that he wants to continue with the same team, whether they're winning or losing.
Yeah.
You saw what happened in 2020.
Yes.
In fact, I remember there was this comment where he said, look, somebody asked him, why aren't you trying out more, more and more young players? He said, look, they need to show some spark.
Yeah.
And I was taken aback. I remember Krishnamacharya Srikanth had commented, and here was Ruturaj Gaikwad looking good. What do you mean by spark? And what do you mean by young players? Or was it youngsters or younger than me? There was a lot of, again, very cryptic messages that this guy comes with. So, I don't know. I mean, when Dwayne Pretorius and Theeksana join up, when they link up with this group, how is it going to work out? Those are
and there is this Patirana also, Raj, a Sri Lankan fast bowler. He can be a trump card.
But then you already have Moeen Ali, Ben Stokes, Devon Conway, Mitchell Santner.
Who will you drop for them?
Play Ben Stokes as an impact player. Play only 3 overseas players.
I think that's going to happen. Remember, I mean, since we are on the topic of impact players and with this whole confusion that a lot of people had as to how that would pan out, then of course now you know that you're naming 5 substitutes. One of them will be an impact player. Mumbai tried that unsuccessfully with Jason Bandorf.
Yeah.
But I think that's more and more of that is going to happen, so that you're at least bowling with 11 Indians on the field. Obviously, only 11 guys can bat, but I think that could somehow
Since
be
you
a trump card.
brought up the topic of Mumbai Indians, now that you have analyzed enough about CSK, what do you think, Raja?
Yes,
These are early stages, I accept, but I don't think Mumbai Indians are looking convincing at all, especially Rohit Sharma with the bat and as captain.
No, but they have issues. They have severe issues. I mean, look at that Mumbai top order collapse. Okay. Who are the batters who got out? Rohit Sharma, Ishan Kishan, Surya Kumar Yadav, and Cameron Green, who came in at number 3.
Yeah.
All big names, enough experience, enough international exposure.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, everybody knows about Rohit and Surya, but Cameron Green too, Ishan Kishan too. Ishan's been a little weird, his form, for the last several weeks since that double 100.
There are obvious weaknesses also, right? Ishan is still suspect to short balls.
Extremely suspect. And in Bangalore, a lot of these batters would want the bat. I mean, yes, there was bounce. There will be bounce, but batters enjoy that in Bangalore at the Chinnaswamy because the ball comes onto the bat nicely. And if you're a stroke maker, you'd love that place. Surya Kumar Yadav, again, bad luck, I thought. It was just such an ordinary delivery to get out to. He just slapped it to point, I think it was.
Yeah.
Very, very poor delivery to get out to. But Ishan Kishan, again, he was their highest scorer last season. So you never know what's going to come out of that. Tilak Verma, the lone bright spark for Mumbai Indians that night, looked so good. Vadhera looked good.
Vadhera was good,
But that bowling lineup, I mean, why, Saurabh, Akshay, would one of the world's fastest bowlers try out so many slower balls? I mean, that was the defining moment for me of the IPL so far. Virat Kohli coming down the pitch to slap Jofra Archer over, not literally, over long off for a 6.
Yeah. Were you happy or sad?
I was excited. I was, I have a jammed shoulder, but I risked further injury by clapping my heart.
I was about to ask you this question. Do you have to be a Virat Kohli RCB fan to love Virat Kohli, to follow him, to want him to do well in the IPL? I don't know.
Why are you asking me that?
I'm asking you.
No, I'm not a RCB fan. I've never been an RCB fan.
But would you be happy with Virat Kohli doing well?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I will be happy with every Indian cricketer performing for any team they are playing.
I was happy with Virat's knock.
Yes.
I was happy with Tilak's knock. I was disappointed with Rohit Sharma's knock.
I am very happy with what Rituraj is doing for Chennai.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Only to come and do badly for India again. I mean, I hope
that is something which should not happen. I hope that does not happen with this young batter.
Saurabh was making a point here.
No, I was just saying, when you see Virat Kohli batting like that, I don't think that there is any cricket lover, if you are a true cricket lover, that you're not going to like that side. It's Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
And Jofra Archer, whatever you might say, he is one of the most fearsome bowlers present in the world cricket right now. Whatever he did in that match against RCB, it's a different topic altogether. But Jofra Archer bowling like that and Virat Kohli smacking him out of the ground.
Yeah.
It was absolutely lovely. And I think that Virat Kohli innings, that the way he took on Jofra Archer in that match, I think that has set up RCB's, whatever you see a journey in this IPL. What they are going to do in next few matches, they are going to play KKR next at KKR's home ground.
Yeah.
Hopefully, with the way they played against MI at their home ground, and the way KKR played in the first match, it's going to be again we are going to see a RCB win.
Yeah. I mean, look, there are two ways of looking at it. It's not just about Virat Kohli, it's about all Indian cricketers. And that's why you follow I mean, that's why someone like me would love
definitely.
the IPL. You'd want to see Virat doing well. You'd want to see Rohit Sharma doing well. I mean, Dhoni has retired, but those sixes, it just lightens the mood, right? It's just something that's a spark there. The problem though is that a lot of these Indian cricketers, when they get those opportunities, because it's a massive leap up. So let's not start jumping the gun and saying that, look, this guy needs to be there, that guy needs to be there. I think what India really needs to do is figure out a pool of talented players from the IPL if they're serious about making a strong, dynamic T20 team. Seasons and years of consistent performances should reflect
Yes.
in that T20I side. Right now, I mean, the team that even failed at the T20 World Cup, don't go by what they did at the fact that they reached the semi-finals. You need to figure out a pool of players who are consistently doing well. Gaikwad is definitely one of them. And young players in their 20s. I mean, Gaikwad is what, 25, 26?
Yeah.
You have someone like Tilak Verma who's 20.
Absolutely.
So you look at those players and again, don't just jump the gun and say that. And that's what happened with Dinesh Karthik.
Yes.
Didn't play any domestic cricket, plays the IPL, and he's in the World Cup squad, and then you see what happened there. So
Exactly, this is what happened with Varun Chakravarti in 2021 World Cup.
Yeah.
He was deemed as your mystery bowler, this and that. He performed very well for KKR in 2021, and then he went on to fail.
Yeah.
You can't give a young player who just played one or two IPL season his debut against Pakistan in a T20 World Cup match. You
And
just
I
can't.
also think we fast-tracked someone like Venkatesh Iyer.
Yes.
you think that happened?
But Raj, seriously asking, what is wrong with Rohit Sharma? An ODI series defeat. I agree, he won the test series.
That's the point, right?
Is there something that is bothering about his captaincy?
Several issues. First off, your own form. You're not leading from the front.
Yeah.
You
one
haven't
of 10, if I'm not
one
wrong,
of
right?
10, and that included a muffed up chance between Siraj and Dinesh Karthik. Couldn't make. I mean, Virat Kohli was fuming because obviously he knows what
Virat
Rohit
Kohli
Sharma's-
suddenly thought, is this my captaincy era? I have seen this happen so many times.
No, I mean you would see
Find
you
ways
would,
to
you would
lose
figure
matches.
out you would see that when you don't want to drop don't want to give a lifeline to someone like Rohit Sharma, but I think he's flustered. He's flustered because he hasn't got a lot of runs for India. I mean, not consistently. He didn't do well at the T20 World Cup.
T20 World Cup was one of his
poorer
poorest
ICC tournaments. I mean, generally he's been a very he's a proven customer at ICC tournaments.
Yeah.
And for Mumbai Indians for years, he hasn't done a lot apart from one innings here, one innings there.
Yeah.
He's often shifted himself up and down the batting order. And IPL is a high pressure tournament. You have to realize there is no sugarcoating the fact that you're being paid a lot of money.
Yes.
Franchisees, and these are big business corporations, and obviously they'd expect results. It's the same anywhere in any corporate structure. This is a corporate structure, right? So it's very different from Indian team. And therein comes Rohit Sharma. Your team finished last year.
Yes.
Missed out on playoffs the previous year.
Missed out on playoffs the previous year. This year, you
Fifth, right?
find there was this one match, but they just didn't look good. And if Ishan Kishan doesn't find his form at the top, if Cameron Green is not consistently bowling for you, as well as scoring
And
those
he's
big
not going to
runs,
give you those 4 overs, right?
you don't
Even if
need
he
those
bowls
4
well.
overs.
Yeah.
You don't need those 4 overs. You just need someone to back up Jasprit Bumrah's absence. You know, the one thing that I didn't like, Saurabh, was the fact that Rohit Sharma comes out and sort of points the blame towards the bowlers. He said the bowlers didn't turn up. Where was the batting? You're
Yes.
48 for 4.
Young Tilak Verma, if he had not gotten
And-
going.
Then you'd be humiliated.
You are playing at Chinnaswamy,
Yes.
batter's paradise.
You
And
can't defend
know
170.
That, you
can't
know
defend
that
170.
200, 220 is also chaseable. So you need to get those runs accordingly.
And you have a pool of players who have been brilliant in international cricket, who know what it takes to perform in pressure situations. A guy like Suryakumar Yadav, who is the number 1 T20 batter, Ishan Kishan, who was up until January the fastest batter, youngest batter to an ODI double century.
Yeah.
You yourself, you are a hitman. You have been scoring runs for like 13, 14 years. What is wrong with this Mumbai Indians team? You are the most successful team in the history of IPL. You have won the most titles. But now it's just not looking...
I think they got it wrong at the auction itself, right? You have talent pool like Tristan Stubbs, Dewald Brevis, but where will you fit them? You don't have the Indian bowling to...
I was genuinely surprised to see Dewald missing from that lineup because, I mean, given what he's done in South Africa, in domestic T20 tournaments, he's been phenomenal. And you want to see him in that lineup. You can't fit in Tim David, wherein essentially with Cameron Green and Tim David, you have a strong with the possibility of a strong, potent bowling lineup.
Yeah.
You're not using that. Jason Bandorf, again, coming straight on as an impact player late in the innings. At least even if he's an impact player, he needs to walk in with
Yes.
the rest of the bowling lineup, right? You form up in the field. Maybe even start off with a new ball. Who knows what kind of impact he could have had. I mean, some of those moves are bizarre. Mahela Jayawardene now, I think he's director of cricket operations for the entire MI franchise. A very, very shrewd analyst, strategist. But Mark Boucher, I mean, these are early days. But looking at that MI performance, it just looked like shades of 2022.
I'll once again point out their bowling looks the weakest.
Yeah, I agree with Akshay
CSK.
that auction point. When they went for Cameron Green, I was shocked. You have a Tim David,
Yeah,
you have a distance up, you have a David Brace. Why do you need Cameron Green?
Yes.
You should have gone for an outright good pacer
Yes.
from overseas.
Yes.
You
How
needed
can you think that you can win a season of
And
IPL?
Jofra Archer is coming after an injury setback for so long.
Yeah.
Yes, he did play in SR20, played for England also in South Africa. But coming right after ye,
Yeah.
I think Jofra Archer will preserve himself for Ashes.
Yeah.
He will preserve himself for Ashes. Whatever you say, whatever you might say. Mumbai Indians do not look like the team which can actually make it to a top 4 this
You are
time.
playing in India. You know that the pitches will be.
And I agree with that point also. Piyush Chawla can't be your main spinner.
Piyush Chawla can still do it. Rohit Sharma can get the best out of him. But as an opposition, I won't be intimidated by Piyush Chawla in the opposition playing 11 at this stage of his career. And Hrithik Shokin, I don't know. He's a budding spinner. They can't be your lead spinners for an IPL that you play in India in summer.
Look, Akshay, last year,
Yeah.
they had started shaping this bowling lineup, right?
Yeah.
You could understand that last year was, again, this is a team in transition. The Pandya brothers are gone. Pollard retired. But you have to look at it this way. Jofra Archer, Jasprit Bumrah, that was the bowling lineup
Yes.
that was being built up. Maybe, the hype even gets to the captain. Any captain that thinks that, look, I have Bumrah and Archer, especially at Wankhede, he'd be very, very happy. I mean, you don't know how that can work out.
MI versus CSK.
But the
That
couple of
was
things here. I mean, Archer, how many times have we actually seen him bowl slower deliveries? You're
Yeah.
bowling in Bangalore,
That was
the
absolutely-
shortest of boundaries.
Yeah.
You're bowling to Virat Kohli, who's clearly very confident, who's not the same Virat Kohli that you saw last year.
Yeah.
Even on your television sets, for people who don't know him personally like us, you could see that there's a change in that man. He is more assertive of where he is in his life, less in-your-face aggressive. But those are things that I have to sort out. Again, I wouldn't blame the MI bowling lineup. I was a little, again, Rohit Sharma asking questions of the bowling lineup. You have to realize you're 48 for 4 and no bowling lineup, very few bowling lineups will actually defend 170 in Bangalore. So, again, I
Absolutely.
think you, just to ward off the CSK criticism, you're heaping up the MI bowling lineup. I think it's still pretty decent. But, I mean, small things. Archer, slower deliveries, Bandorf coming as an impact player. I mean, that's fine, but should he have come in a little earlier? Those are things that with time they can sort out, but they need to start scoring runs
Yeah,
at the top.
definitely. When you have a Suryakumar Yadav, Rohit Sharma, Ishan Kishan, I think at least 2 of them should start scoring as soon as possible if Mumbai want to win matches in IPL 2023.
Raj, the first round of IPL is over now. If you both have to name 4 sides that impressed you, whom will be?
The 4 sides. I don't think any side has impressed me totally yet, apart from Bangalore.
I was most impressed with Rajasthan Royals.
Rajasthan Royals.
They were brilliant. Apart from Riyan Parag, they have a team capable of winning the title.
Keep in mind that Riyan Parag has also had a good domestic season.
He's had a
And he's
fantastic
not gonna be-
domestic season.
Yeah.
And he's had a great season on
of
social
course.
media as well. I mean, he's been very sprightly there. But I think, again, with Rajasthan Royals, you'd expect that because, they're coming up as
And they have a
runners-up, even
settled
if-
unit.
Yeah.
Brilliant bowling unit.
Yeah.
They have got the likes of Chahal, Ashwin, Bolt,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
and Butler is in form. Samson, everyone is scoring.
Bolt's power
I don't know,
play
you guys
wickets-
tell me, but
And Mumbai is missing that.
it's not about, okay, fine, your runners up and your champions are doing well. Gujarat Titans got off to a good win against
And they look very
CSK.
impressive
They look-
also.
And we've said this before, GT look even stronger.
Yeah.
Even LSG looks stronger. It was just poor shot selection, especially from KL Rahul
Yes.
on Monday. But I think I'm most impressed with RCBs because this is a team that looks determined. You've seen that in previous years.
Yeah.
Playoffs, 3 successive playoffs. No, I mean, come on. It's not.
I told
Isala Cup
start
naam
of-
de.
Oh.
Don't say that.
This is a cursed phrase that
Don't
even
say that.
Virat Kohli doesn't want you to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? I said at the start of the last episode when you were out, Saurabh, I told that the fanboy, RCB fanboy, will time and again come out.
I said,
That's
and
the
my
first
response
time.
to that is
You know,
that, look,
First,
I want to write stories. We are storytellers
From
and we
the
want those stories to come out. Imagine Virat Kohli
Yeah.
becoming an IPL champion.
one game.
That is-
What a
RCB
story that would
That is
be.
one- that is
game
one way to
RCB
put it.
has won at Chinnaswamy, and you're already saying
And that is one way to
they're
put it.
attacking it.
He actually want RCB to win it.
You want 6 more wins at the Chinnaswamy,
Hmm?
a
Then
couple
they
of
are
wins here and
almost
there,
through. Yeah.
and then the final.
Yeah.
That's all.
Wow. But you know what? I am really concerned about Delhi Capitals. You know,
Why you
they don't
consider
have
Delhi
Rishabh Pant. For a side that has all tried to do well in the last 3-4 seasons, suddenly this blow is looking a little. And I still don't think making David Warner captain was the right choice. Because you can't drop him now.
Who else could it have been?
Yeah, that is a big question. But if you ask me, I would have gone with Akshay Patel.
Yes.
As the captain, Delhi captain. David Warner will not be my first choice pick in that playing 11.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
You need someone like Mitchell Marsh, you need someone Riley Rosso, Roman Powell, Anik Norkia, or Mustafizur Rahman. But not David Warner. He scored a 50, but that was one of the worst.
So you mean to
50s.
say that, you don't see, either of you guys don't see David Warner in the playing 11 consistently?
No, even
for this
Australia doesn't
No,
see
I-
them. Doesn't
but
see him
again,
as in the playing
season? In
11.
the absence of Rishabh Pant, I have another theory. In the absence of Rishabh Pant, you need a strong character. Pant is a very strong character.
Yeah.
I mean, he could
But
be
you
laughing,
need
joking.
you have two strong characters in the dressing room itself, right? Ricky Ponting
Exactly.
and
That's the second point I was coming to.
Yeah.
That to be pairing up with Ricky Ponting, you need a character like that. Akshar Patel, terrific all-rounder, terrific cricketer.
At
But-
his heights, David Warner, yes, absolutely in any playing 11. He
Hmm.
walks into even all-time IPL playing 11.
Hmm.
But I don't think this time, this was a wrong choice because David Warner's form, even for Australia, was in the decline.
Hmm.
And they are now wondering whether he'll be in the Ashes or not.
Yes.
At this juncture, you give him the captaincy and you make him a permanent member of that 11.
Yeah.
When you don't have enough firepower in the middle, that's something where Delhi have faltered. But for someone like Sunrisers Hyderabad, I think that was a one-off game.
Okay.
When they will get back Markram and all of them.
Okay, quickly then, but because we're quickly running out of time. Before
Yeah.
we go, Saurabh, I'll start with you quickly.
Okay.
Which Indian star has impressed you the most so far?
Virat Kohli.
Okay.
MS Dhoni.
With 2 sixes.
Oh, no.
You-
Absolutely. No. If you are asking me a current player or an upcoming player, Tilak Verma, hands down.
For me, it's Ruturaj Gaikwad because of his consistency.
Yeah.
And I mean, after a poor season with India,
Hmm.
those
Yes,
limited opportunities that he got, he's come back
Hmm.
into this lineup and he scored runs against two
Quality. bowling.
decent bowling attacks. So I want to keep my eye on him. Virat Kohli, you'd expect him to do that.
Yeah.
But especially
If he doesn't,
expect him to
if
do
he
that.
doesn't, then you ask those
yeah, he
questions.
just
Yeah.
ate the humble pie in the beginning of that.
Okay, now he has to make those U-turns.
What
on this
U-turns?
show.
No,
I never claimed to be anything else. I
T20,
said,
Virat's T20 form, Virat is...
and I also said I'll be
So,
looking forward to.
although-
Do you think you will give a recall into the T20 side?
Not still. I
Not
don't
still?
think so. Move on to other players. I mean,
Yeah.
Kohli has done his services in the
And I
T20
still
side.
think that Tilak Verma, if he has a good season, he should be given a chance.
Yes,
At least to
I
travel
would-
with the squad.
Again, don't jump the gun. You saw what you did to Venkatesh Iyer.
But Tilak has
So-
been performing well. Even
Let him continue this performance for I think
Yeah.
2 more seasons.
and your
let him
captain
be
said last
consistent.
season itself that he's an all-form.
And
player.
you have to, map that with your domestic performances as well. I mean,
Exactly.
you can't override.
For someone like Ruturaj, he has
Exactly.
had a terrific season at the domestic level.
Vijay Hazare.
And
Side
I would
Mustaf.
also like to point out the name of Yashasvi Jaiswal.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. We forgot
Absolutely
that.
brilliant.
That's a
Devdutt
domestic-
Padikkal, Yashasvi Jaiswal, you have to
What
look
a
out for these
season
guys.
that he had in the domestic circuit, and he
And he was
translated
brilliant in the
that.
first match also in
Yeah.
IPL. So
And N. Jagdish and see what he does. Can he bring around his Vijay
If he-
if,
Hazare?
he
Yeah,
gets
give him a
if he gets a chance.
But that's,
he was very happy that he moved out of CSK. Now
But then he has caught up in KK.
but cross your fingers for these talented blokes. But that's all that we have now from the latest episode of the Sledging Room. I don't even remember how many episodes we've done. We've done quite a few.
42, 43.
We are racing towards a half century.
Yes.
So that'll be something special. And that should come up sometime after the IPL. So that will be, look forward to that. I know that's a long heads up, but there, if you want to reach out to us, you can always email us on pods@indiatoday.com and ping us on 8588966996 and rate us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you're listening to us. Tell us about Akshay's new haircut and whether he should come back in a yellow jersey the next time. And of course, do let us know.
And Saurabh in a Delhi jersey and you wearing your red.
This is India colors. That's what you'll always find me. And thank you, meanwhile. Have a cracking week ahead, and we'll be back with a lot more in the next episode. Thank you. You are on India Today Podcasts, and you are in the Sledging Room.